You don't get to enslave people, lynch people, beat people, rape people, eat people, segregate people, lock people out of resources, destabilize families, over-police communities, undereducate schools, poison neighborhoods, and then turn around and have the fucking audacity to say, why are they so angry? What the fuck do you mean, why are they so angry? That question alone is disrespectful as hell, because anger does not come out of nowhere. Intensity does not come out of nowhere. Pain does not come out of nowhere.
That's the truth. You don't appreciate people, but you want them to forget about slavery. You don't honor what they're doing, but you want them to come true for you whenever you are in trouble. Black Americans are one of the races that are facing a lot of backlash from East, West, North, and South. Coming from immigrants, coming from the country where it's just a whole lot to deal with whenever they hear that name, I am black. But I don't know why. And I keep asking, if you keep checking my videos all through this week, I ask questions like, what has Black Americans really done? Because the more you keep thinking this is over, the more we keep seeing the most annoying one. But anyways, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And yes, with that being said, let's dive right into this video. I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go watch, guys.
People don't respect black people. They don't. And I'm getting sick and tired of it, honestly. People don't respect us. You know, like, it's as if we don't understand how all this, like, how they act towards us. Like, why don't we see what they constantly do to us? Our minds, our mental health, they are constantly attacking us. Like, even your neighbors, like, it's like, what did I do to you?
It is a privilege as a white person to not notice that white supremacy is still a thing, that it's ingrained into every part of our society. But once you wake up to that as a white person, you start to not trust other white people. You start to not feel comfortable around other white people because the majority of other white people have not done the same work that you have done to dismantle the white supremacy in their mind, the racism that exists in their mind. You know that the second you bring up racism around them, they're going to kind of shut down. Or they're going to get defensive. They're going to say, well, people are racist towards white people. The conversation is going to get nowhere, and you're going to see that they are also upholding this white supremacy. Why do I want to associate with somebody like that? Or why do I want to associate with somebody who could say something racist, and then when I call them out on that, they play victim. They say, oh, I wasn't being racist. I didn't mean it that way, blah, 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 blah. Instead of just saying, oh yeah, you're right. I said something racist. Let me acknowledge that. Let me do better. I just don't want to be around these kinds of people. Like, that's exhausting. It's exhausting to have these conversations that get absolutely nowhere, where they essentially are laughing at you, and white people will other white people that are doing this work. So now you're seen as lesser. Now you're being treated as lesser. I don't want to be around people that treat me as lesser because I don't agree with racism, because I want to see change. It's just that there's such a small minority of white people that are doing the work. And my odds of coming across one of you just going out and about are very, very slim. And I kind of just want to keep to myself because I should feel comfortable around you. I should be able to trust that you're not going to slip up and say something racist. I just don't want any part in people that are not healing. We're at a different wavelength and our conversations are not going to get anywhere, no matter how many facts I give you, no matter how much education I've put into this. In life, I felt like I want to save the world. I want to fix people. And that's just not how I want to experience every single day of my life. Sometimes I need to be able to just relax. It's just a very weird experience to not feel comfortable around people that look like you. And honestly, it's depressing. It's frustrating. I think the more wisdom you have, the more you just want to keep to yourself or just be around other like-minded individuals. I just don't have the energy. I use my account to educate people, but I can't in my everyday life just be around these types of people. I'm on here to hopefully wake people up because we need more white people that get it. But in my everyday life, I don't often come across white people that get it.
So yeah, I've never seen Asian and black women as friends, and I'm talking about East Asia, like Southeast Asian countries. I've never seen it. I think that Asian women see black women as like they're intimidated by us, and also they think that we're too large. Like they think that we're too, overweight. The relationship, a lot of biracial people that, especially if they have like an Asian mom and a black father, so a lot of biracial people will say that they had like a black mother figure to help raise them. So I think a lot of times they see us as the mammy trope, so they don't really see a friendship. But it's interesting, like I've never seen black American women and Asian women as friends. Yeah, I just don't, so if you do have an Asian friend, how was you able to do it? Because like they like scared of us, and I don't know, it's weird because like they like K-pop and things like that, for example, but scared of or intimidated and hate the people that it originates from.
I have a theory. Black women are treated extremely poorly by white women because white women need someone to punch down on. They are so accustomed to being punched down on by white men because they are the leader of superiority that they need someone else to take that hatred and that abuse out on. Thus, the consistent treatment that black women experience in corporate spaces. What other space do white women dominate outside of corporate spaces? Nowhere. Yes, they have a lot of privilege. Yes, they hold a lot of power, but the place that they dominate the most is within corporate systems. So in workspaces where there's a dominant presence of white men, white women know that they still are going to come in second place to those white men. White women have to make sure they maintain their power. And a lot of times the way that they maintain their power is making sure that they inflict some sort of control and domination over someone who has less power. Despite the achievements, the education, the experience, the soft skills that black women bring to the table, we are a threat to the environment. Not only are we a threat to the environment because we tend to advocate for others and speak up for ourselves, but hear me out. Black women have the creativity in the space to be able to express themselves authentically. They express themselves in how they carry themselves. They express themselves through the way that they dress. They express themselves through the way that they articulate. They express themselves through their art, through their hair, in all these different ways, right? But white women, on the other hand, are typically forced to fit within these rigid frameworks of what is acceptable in their culture. And what is not acceptable is expressiveness. It is expected of them to carry, manage, and conduct themselves in a similar fashion to the rest of their peer group. So therefore, they are a lot more suppressed. They are a lot less creative. They are a lot less expressive when it comes to their needs because they are coming from a culture that reinforces and praises their silence and their agreement with the existing system. And black women are everything except that. That's not the lane that black women stay in. And I do believe that there is a part of white women that are jealous of us because not only the physical attributes that we possess, not only the creativity, not only the physical expression of who we are internally, but also that we have the power and the autonomy to speak up for ourselves and stand in that, and they wish that they could. It made me really think about, it can't just be racism for the reason why black women have a collective experience in the workplace that is very similar. It has to be more than that. And I do believe that because white women are not allowed to authentically express themselves and then have a gamut of expression and what that looks like, from the style of dress, from how they articulate themselves, from how they express themselves, to their hair, to their creativity, to how they present themselves in the world, that is one of the reasons why they are not only subconsciously intimidated by black women, but they also go out of their way to make sure that black women feel small, that black women don't have any power or control, that black women don't even have control over their autonomy in the workplace. They don't even have any control over the level of respect that they receive. And a lot of white women hold that power. And I believe that they are so hell-bent, or one of the reasons why they are so hell-bent on holding that power is because ultimately they feel powerless in their own lives. Wake it up.
So on today's version of White People Can't Leave Black People Alone If Their Life Depended on It, we're barbecuing at the park, right? It's Memorial Weekend, but we're there on Saturday, yesterday. So it's not busy, okay? The park is wide open. We are literally the only people within like a 0.25 mile radius that are actually like parked and doing things. You know what I mean? Like there's a few people throwing some frisbees, some footballs. There's somebody like throwing a ball with their dog. But like as far as like actively taking up space, like a bunch of picnic tables, one group, us. And so we're all grilling out and I watch these women, right? Because I'm just sitting there. Obviously I'm not cooking. I'm watching these women walk from across the park, right? First they're on the trail. They're on the trail. Then they come off the trail towards us. Then they walk up towards us. They're across from me at the picnic table and they go, "Do you guys mind if we sit here?" Nobody says anything. So I say, "You have the entire park and you want to sit right here? That's weird." 'Cause it fucking is. Like, don't piss me off. Like, I watched y'all walk. Y'all had hundreds of options of picnic tables to sit at. You choose to sit right here. And not only, you know it's weird because you're asking us. So you know you're being fucking weird. And you know it's weird if we say no. Good thing is, I'm a bitch in real life. It don't bother me. Why do you want to sit next to us when you have this entire park to sit at? They didn't say a word. They just walked away. Weird ass.
I forget where I'm at because I believe I surround myself with really good, like-minded people. But then I get to places where I can't control who's around me, like an ASU football game. And remember, I'm in Arizona. I'm at the ASU football games with my friends. And I guess they changed something about the student section. Now you need a wristband, yada, whatever. So we try to go to the student section because we got student tickets. And they're like, you need a wristband. So we're like, okay. So we go stand to the side because we wanted to see the Stomp the Bus and the players. Mind you, it's like 20 plus people standing to the side because ain't nobody know they needed wristbands now. And so like maybe half of those people are to the right of us, in front of us, closest to like the entrance in the student section. And there's this one security guard. He walks past that big chunk of people and walks up to me and my friends. He goes, "Y'all don't have a wristband." I go, "No, we just told you that." Whole time I'm taking mental notes because I realized you just skipped a whole group of people to come specifically tell us. And so now you get in a little more aggressive and trying to argue with us. And me and my friend both go, "Why'd you come to us first and skip all those people?" And the next thing he says is, "I could get the police over here." Like there's no way in heck you felt that threatened by us to automatically just resort to getting police. Because one thing you're not going to do is try to find a reason to call the police over when I'm not doing nothing wrong. Mind you, we were not in anybody's way. And then so we say it again, "Why haven't you told anybody else?" And he goes, well, I was going to tell someone else. So I pull out my phone because it's either going to go bad or he's going to get scared and walk away. And so then he walks away and goes up to the white people next to us and literally does this. All he does is say, "Hey guys, I can't have you standing here, all right?" Like this might seem like something so little, but the fact you stood there and tried to start an argument and threaten us with something that didn't need to even escalate to that for no reason, but then go walk up to and just be calm, cool, and collected is crazy because we were minding our own business just like they were. If you really wanted to get that point across so badly, you would have just yelled to everyone standing there and get your breath out in one sentence. But it's okay because live, laugh, love.
Unpopular opinion, I think Asians are more discriminatory towards other races than other races are to Asians. I say this because I personally experienced an issue that happened recently. I was in Chinatown in the United States of America in Flushing, Queens, New York. I went into a jewelry store. I mean, I've never really been inside a jewelry store in Chinatown, so I was like, I'm curious. Me and my partner went in, and I was racially profiled. When I tell you, first of all, the lady who opened the door, I turned around, how she's opening the door for us to get in. She signals to another associate that we're coming in, and I watch her laugh. I don't know what was funny about me coming into a store. The other assistant that she called over basically asked us, "Hey, do you need any assistance?" We're like, "No, we're okay." So not only did she hear us say no, we're okay, she followed us the whole time in the store. Every step she followed us.
All right, Black Americans, the real Indigenous American Indians, the real JEWSs. Couple of key points. So, remember, The whole black and brown BS. We gotta throw that shit out. Black Americans, who they are referring to when they say black, are really brown, and brown people are really white tea. All right, we've never been together. Brown PPL, they HAT us like everybody else, like the rest of them, right? So don't fall into that BS, right? This is stuff. Pardon me, I just ate. This is stuff I've said copious amounts of times, but I gotta remind my people because there's a lot of, I call it professional terrorism, right? So what else, right? We're not all black people. We are not all. There's a video that went viral of a guy stitched together a clip of a whole bunch of Afro-Asians saying, "Hey, I'm not black. We're not them. We're not black. We're not black, right?" So you don't get to not be black, when y'all followed the white T, little BOY in his kingdom, and now his kingdom is over, and now y'all see, the black Americans are rising, our kingdom, and now we're all black. I mean, I've even heard the Dominicians, yeah, I'm a melanated Dominican, or, I'm a black Dominican, right? That's a whole different topic of discussion, right? So, yeah, everybody, you don't get to... it's like weird. It's almost like a lot of y'all don't have any loyal TY. Like, listen, y'all chose the white T little boy in his system, and now that y'all see that, Esau, his system is done, and Jacob, black American man, our system, with our black American queens, we're rising. You don't get to just jump ship, right? You don't get to just no, we're all black. Right. Also, too, they want to come under the banner of black, because they're trying to, muddy the waters because they know ICE, and it's a myriad of reasons now why everybody want to be black. But no, even the whole reparation thing, which, me personally, I know the white T little BOY and Satan ain't gonna give a shit. So the Most High, our reparations is gonna be the entire world and rulership forever, a kingdom without end. So sorry if I'm talking about. I'm just trying to go through a couple of points that I'm noticing, right? Like, especially with the Afro-Asians, and keep in mind, I'm generally speaking, right, as a whole, right? Like, not every single individual, person of these GANTS is on that time, right? Some of us actually know and accept who we are, right? But the professional terrorism within Afro-Asians, it's like, it's insane. It's insane, and it's insane. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they treat us just like it's the same playbook, right? It's just how white tees treat us. They treat us like we're freaking stupid ID. But those are the points I wanted to just harken on for now. Yeah, I'm gonna start getting back to posting more consistently, since I literally obliterated this WITCH coven, and yeah, they know what's up, and they know the message that I sent out, because I know they're watching this. And yeah, I stand firm on that. So yeah, y'all already know what I'm talking about. So yeah, don't play with me. And what else? What else? So yeah, just be mindful of the, and I show SPED, right? I think it's starting to make sense why they did this tour, right? To try to make it seem like, because he's a real indigenous American Indian. He's not Afro-Asian. They tried to use him for that agenda, but the ones with the eyes to see and the ears to hear, we know what's up. So, yeah, I think he did this whole tour thing. I guess we're supposed to think like now that these people love us because of how they're embracing him, when we're not buying this shit, all right? Like, yeah, I so speed, so now we're supposed to listen. I'm telling you, don't let these people play in your face, all right? All praise to the Most High.
Let's do a little experiment. If you're a Black woman, I want you to drop a heart in the comments for every time someone at work called you intimidating. It'll be interesting to see how many hearts there are, but let's talk about something really real for a second. When a Black woman in leadership sets clear boundaries at work, why is she suddenly called intimidating? Not decisive, not strategic, not clear. Intimidating. If you've spent time in corporate spaces, you already know the word is not neutral, because what people are often reacting to isn't aggression, it's clarity. You don't over-explain your decisions. You don't shrink your standards to make people in the room feel comfortable. You don't confuse access with respect. And that unsettles people who are used to leadership being easier to influence. So they reach for the language that has been historically used to police Black women's presence. Difficult, too direct, intimidating. But here's the truth, you're not intimidating. You're leading, you're protecting the work, you're protecting the teams, you're protecting standards. And when someone's comfort relied on blurred lines and quiet compliance, clarity feels threatening. But real leadership isn't loud, it's anchored. Your expectations are clear, your boundaries are visible. Your self-respect sets the tone for the entire room. So when someone says you're intimidating, what they usually mean is they can't move around you the way they used to. And that's not a leadership problem. That's leadership doing exactly what it's supposed to do. I really want to see how many of us have heard the word. Don't forget, drop red hearts for every time you've heard it.
Watch this video carefully because it shows clearly and painfully what many Black people experience in their daily lives. This wasn't just a random moment. It was a social experiment designed to test whether white people feel equally comfortable helping Black people. First, you see a white man approach another white person and ask to borrow their phone because his battery is dead. No hesitation, no suspicion, no questions. The phone is handed over instantly, but then a Black man tries the exact same thing. Same words, same situation, and suddenly the excuses appear. I don't have time. My battery is low. The connection is bad. My phone is off. The Black man walks away rejected. And minutes later, that same person who refused him willingly gives their phone to the white guy who asks afterward. This raises a huge concern because it exposes something many people deny, but Black people live with every day. If something this small, borrowing a phone, creates hesitation and distrust, imagine what happens when they're job hunting. Imagine what happens during traffic stops. Imagine what happens in courtrooms when sentences don't make sense. This isn't to attack anyone. This is to educate, to create awareness, and to show the everyday reality that many Black people face, often silently, often unnoticed, but constantly.
Honestly, a lot of people do not respect Black people, especially immigrants. I'm going to be saying that, especially immigrants that are coming into America to come look for greener pastures, coming into places where Black people literally belt and don't respect them because they idolize more of white folks. Because they feel like there's nothing good that can literally be attributed to a Black person to them. Now, forgetting the struggles of how these people suffered, built America. I feel like personally, a lot of Black people are going through a lot through the hands of every single race. Especially when you're a Black American person. Especially when you're a Black American person. And it's as bad as that. And that is why most of my videos, I do tell immigrants that I think the best thing you should do for yourself as an immigrant is to first understand the histories that is relating to Black Americans specifically. Now, even a lot of white folks, some white folks, let me say some white folks, are now understanding the pains of Black Americans and then coming out to air out. Because I feel like personally, one of the people that should be respected no matter the condition is Black Americans. And another reason I feel like a lot of people are using opportunity not to respect Black Americans is because Black Americans are too kind. And then they are taking their kindness for granted. You understand? They're taking their kindness for granted. They're taking every single thing they are doing for granted. Because Black Americans are welcoming as well. Let me give you guys a quick story about my Black American mom, what literally happened to her. So my Black American mom was a gifter. I'm going to use that word worse because right now she's no longer doing that charity job for anybody. So she was a gifter on TikTok, a high rank level gifter. She come, gifts people, go her way. And at some point, she just take a pause to really understand those ones that really appreciate her work and effort. And then she found out that every single one of them never appreciated what she was literally doing for them. Now, here is the tricky part of it. That they can just stay for months without calling, texting, asking how she is doing, how she is, but they can just pick their phone and say, oh, I need to buy some food, I need to buy some grocery, I need to buy phone, I need to do this. Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And there was this day, my adopted mom called me and she was screaming on top of her voice. Like, what the hell? People are ungrateful, taking opportunities for granted, taking kindness for selfishness. So I feel like it's the same thing that is happening to Black Americans. A lot of them have seen that these people are soft people. So what do? Let's subdue their softness. Let's use it against them. And I'm not saying this because I want Black Americans to stop doing good. No. Doing good is a perfect thing. Keep doing good. But whenever you're doing good, check who you're doing that good for. Is that person really worth it? Because I've seen it that no matter what you do, as long as you're a Black American person, you will never be appreciated, whether you like it or not. It is only few people that can appreciate you, understand your struggles, and know where you're coming from. So understand that as well. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you. Liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.